It is October the 16th, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is the Minorcan Mullet Report from the Golden Ray Wreck site in the St.simons Sound. Out today, and they had Section 4 strapped up, and they'd begun lifting on it. We could see that they pretty much had gotten the Section 4 level, before it had the kind of that list in it, and was very obvious, but now that you can see it's leveled. And then also when you look to the lower side of it, you can really see where the marine growth has taken over a lot of the vehicles that are still in the Section 4. And there are actually a lot of vehicles here in this section. So we never saw this section break the water. It looks like they've picked it up, and we're sure it's off the bottom, but never saw it really break the water. So it's hard to tell if there's any substantial damage. But from what we see right here, things are looking good. They still got a ways to go here with this lift, and it's got a good bit of weight on it. A lot of silt, a lot of sand still in this section. So fingers crossed that they can get it up intact without separation like they had with Section 5. But good to see the last section of the Golden Ray actually strapped up, and the lift process beginning today. But here we got a still picture coming up, a little closer shot, and you can really start to make out those vehicles in there. You can see just about like maybe midship, just kind of across that line there, where they were able to get a lot of those vehicles out, but below it, still a lot in there. And we expect that the Blue Claw will be in operation. That grapple machine, getting some more of these vehicles out of this Section 4 and getting them off on a barge. We expect that activity to probably get started very, very soon. We look forward to being able to bring that to you guys, some more of that action. And this was earlier this morning when we were out and got these shots. Now, when we stayed out, we were out a good bit, went over to the port, looked over a couple things, just kind of, we had a journalist on the boat that was very interested in making a trip with us, and we were happy to get him out and take a look at what was going on. And this activity was kind of a bonus. So we were in Brunswick for a little while for him, and he was getting some shots, a lot of stuff that you guys have already seen. And while we were in Brunswick, we noticed that they were in the process of kind of moving some barges around, and one of them that they were kind of shifting around was the 291. You longtime members of the Minorcan Navy will remember the Weeks 291 was one of the barges that we've seen for a pretty good amount of time on the mooring ball, kind of on the Jekyll Island side of the wreck site, and they were using it as a staging barge for a lot of the environmental work, storage of oil booms and that kind of thing. Well, apparently that barge is on its way back to its next assignment. It looks like it has been released. It was under tow by the tug Shelby and was headed out to sea today. So it appears that we have seen our last of the Weeks 291, as we're beginning now to see more and more of this equipment that's been used in this process being released from the job and returning back to either where it was originally from, or maybe on to a new assignment. Here it is, 291 headed out. Now, about the same time we were looking at this, we made it back over to the wreck site, and right in here, I don't know if you guys can make it out right there. It's a pretty good amount of a slick right there, and we were seeing some of that oil back on top of the water. Debris crews were in there working around. At the time we were out there, we didn't see any boom being pulled, but we could see areas where there was not bunker sea oil, but oil product on the top of the water. And this was on the incoming tide. Here's the Coast Guard kind of driving their boat right through the middle of it on their way by. They were coming out of the site today, and yeah, here it is. You can kind of just like make it out just between here and the VB. You can see where the water tension is different. It looks a little slick in those spots. That's product. That is petroleum product on the top of the water. And it's here we start lifting a section, and I guess this has just come to be expected. The oil's going to get away from them. It's going to be out in the water, and we don't know where it's going to go, but here we go. Another one of these days, and it brings back a lot of memories of frustrations and seeing a lot more oil on the water. Hopefully, they can continue the lift, get the weight off of it, get some up underneath this, and kind of wrap this part of it up. Now, we really don't know how much debris is still underneath the water. That would be an interesting view, and I'm sure they have that information. I don't expect they're going to release any of that to the public to show how many vehicles they have in the water, but we would estimate that they've probably lost anywhere between 30 and 50 vehicles on a cut. And we've seen some of those picked up, but we think the majority of them are probably still down on the bottom of the sound. And here's a shot. You can make out some of that oil right in here. Just hate to see it, but it's, again, come to be expected. Well, hey, that's a report for today. We'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us and watching. We're going to ask if you haven't done it, maybe go ahead and click on that subscribe button for us. Give us some thumbs up. Send us some comments. Hey, most of all, I want you guys to stay safe out there.